Good to go.
Oh, yeah, here we are on Liberty Coast to Coast with Cody and Keith. I'm Keith, and this is our premiere episode. You may have seen me back in the ranks of the 2008 Ron Paul Army. From there, I worked in 2012. 2016, I was a strong arm for Rand Paul, but you know what? When he bowed out after Iowa, I jumped ship and found myself working for Austin Pearson on the LNC convention floor. It was there I met this wonderful gentleman out of California by the name of Cody Fairfield. He's representing the West Coast. Cody, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks, Keith. My name's Cody Fairfield. I come from sunny California, or California, depending on what your take on it is. I tend to believe it leans a little bit to California. But yeah, I supported the Ron Paul campaign both in 2008 and 2012 as well. From there, I followed, just like Keith, into the Rand Paul campaign. I know that kind of makes it sound a little Republican-esque, but I promise you it's not. Always a big L, or I'm sorry, always a little L libertarian. Now making that jump into a big L libertarian with the campaign of Austin Peterson. He got us motivated so much that while I was on the LNC floor as a delegate with Keith, we came up with this idea of Liberty Coast to Coast. And I think our main goal here, Keith, is now to change the messaging, to change the way that the LP is presented. Let's talk about our ideas here and what Liberty Coast to Coast is going to be.
All right. So we're there are two types of people in this world. There are people who tend to like Trump and learn from him, and then there are people who wring their hands. Now we're libertarians, but we're also learners. We've always thought the Libertarian Party has had a messaging problem, and that's why we were weary for so long. But we saw people like Austin Pearson kind of bridging the divide, and we realized there is a Liberty audience that is young, it's hip, it's sexy, and they want to have fun. And we want to deliver them a whole bunch of that fun and mischief. And we want to keep our finger on the pulse of the LP because we saw some incredible things going on down in Orlando. We want to keep them moving.
I completely agree. I think that as you hit, the messaging is the big thing for us. Oftentimes, and one of the people we talked to a lot while we were there was this gentleman named Israel Anderson. If you guys don't know about him, Google him, look him up. He was part of the Ron Paul campaign. He's very close to the Pauls. But when we were in the convention floor, he talked about the 20% versus the 80%. And basically what that means is the people who understand philosophy, they can talk about it. They love getting into it. They can get into that nitty gritty, but it tends to be a lot of white paper for them. There's nothing for them to get excited about because it's very, very thought-provoking and it's deep. And then there's the 80% of the nation, and that tends to be the people who are entertained by emotion. They want something that jumps out to them, that pops for them. That's going to be our goal here. As you can tell, if you guys are watching the video podcast, or the video version of the podcast, if you look at Keith's outfit, totally exactly what we're talking about. It's going to explode. You're going to think about it. It's going to make you want to come back to wonder what he's wearing next. But that's our job here. We're not going to be filtered. We're not going to come through with the scripted version of what you think we should, of what we think you should hear. We're going to tell you what we want to say, whether you like it, don't like it, whether you hate it, don't hate it. We're going to say it. And you can ask Keith. We're not afraid to go where we want to go.
No, and it's great. Neither of us are running for office, so we're going to have all the fun we want on air. And we're going to entertain some wonderful guests. We have today a very, very special guest, founder of Babes for Liberty and Liberty Viral, Liberty Laura. She's going to be on with us after the break. She has some incredible insight and an incredible project, and I can't wait to hear a little bit more when we get back from this commercial.
Yeah, sounds great to me. We'll be back. What do you think about that?
I wish neither of us said but I know we both did.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. It's going to add to the unscriptedness.
I wanted to punch myself every time I said it. I've got like this guttural reaction to the word when I hear it on radio, and I heard it from my headphones, and I wanted to hit myself. Other than that, not too bad. I wouldn't mind listening to the playback and hearing it out, but that's kind of what we wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say this is running through my head. Mm-hmm. I think each of us needs to do at least a half-hour live stream in the AP group tonight. While we still have our set.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to do it simultaneously? Like, what do you? What was your thought process for that?
Do you have Billy there right now?
No. Billy's got the flu, so it's just me. I've gone solo.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, if you and Billy wanna, I'll ship over the files to you, the audio files to you, while you and Billy are starting to clip those. you want me to go over and start to tease and answer questions and do this and that, I would love to. I'm not, I'm not the video editing guy. I'm not really the audio.
No, I get it. Well, what if instead of it doing it that way, what if we just, threw this up there right now, go do an actual like live stream like we've been doing for a half an hour, and then
I think the Facebook live streams are going to be,
yeah, they do transition a little bit better.
They communicate a little bit better. I wish there's a way.
Well, what if we did this while we were both live streaming?
Yeah, we could. I'm just worried that we'd pull from each other's audiences if we both went on at once, unless there's a way we can dual boot. We could do.
And the thing is, if we did that, well, I know we can live stream as Liberty Coast to Coast. We can do that through the Facebook app function. There needs to be a way that you can have one of these conversations as a live stream as well. That needs to be functional.
Yeah. I mean, because none of this is the recording. This is us just conversing.
Right.
Well, I mean, one of us can do it, and the other person can chime in.
Yeah.
The question is,
well, what if we did this? Let's do it this way. Let's have while you're live streaming, I'll comment be in your feed. Yeah, exactly, and then vice versa.
Yeah, let's do that. Just to drum up some buzz.
Okay, and we'll just talk about, hey, we just shot our first episode. It's going to be coming out. I mean, we need to focus on the fact that this isn't going to look like a majorly produced podcast. We need to make sure that people know that we want it to look rough. We want it to look like it's something we did in our, our makeshift studios. Because the one thing I don't want to look is like it's overproduced. I want it to look like it's coming from real people who, went out and fucking bought whatever pieces of the machine that they could put together to make it sound as good as they could. But at the same time, it doesn't have producers. It doesn't have script writing. It doesn't have, complete structure. I want it to be that loose, kind of fun atmosphere.
I'll admit Crowder is right where I'd want to be.
Yeah. Oh, completely. Where he just kind of flies by the fucking seat of his pants sometimes.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. And I think that's why it's so damn entertaining. Because I think you're a fan, too. Like, I make sure I listen to his Thursday 2-hour show every fucking week. At least one. Right.
Okay, then can we live stream off the computer? Because if we can live stream in this format, that's even better.
Well, let me see if I can. I'll try it right now. And
okay, I'm going to stop the broadcast of this.